You know just what you do to me. Play my emotions like a pair of puppet strings. Did it ever occur to you my heart's more than a toy?
Welcome back to Real Literature and Random Videos channel and this is me Neha Sultana and आज की वीडियो में हम लोग ए फ्लावरिंग ट्री ए के रामानुजन ने लिखा था। तो ये जो टेक्स्ट है साउथ एशियन लिटरेचर में प्रिस्क्राइब्ड किया गया है। अगर आप किसी भी यूनिवर्सिटी से हो, स्पेशली ये गुलबर्गा यूनिवर्सिटी का सिलेबस मैं फॉलो कर रही हूँ। आई एम ऑल्सो अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ देयर एंड चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। मैंने ए फ्लावरिंग ट्री जो कि टेक्स्ट प्रिस्क्राइब किया गया है वो बहुत ही लेंदी है, इसको मैंने शॉर्ट फॉर्म में लिखा है एग्जामिनेशन में आंसर पर्पस के लिए। तो मैं होप करती हूँ आपको ये आंसर बहुत ही जो है हेल्पफुल रहेगा। इंट्रोडक्शन में मैंने लिखा A Flowering Tree is a short story written by A.K. Ramanujan in his 1997 book A Flowering Tree and Other Oral Tales from India. In actuality, it is a Kannada folklore told by women which is translated by A.K. Ramanujan to English. The story was collected in several versions in the Karnataka region over the span of 20 years by Ramanujan and his fellow folklorist. It is a woman-centered tale and attempts to establish a sisterhood between woman and nature. There lived a poor woman in a certain town with her two daughters. The younger daughter decided to help her impoverished family. She turned into a beautiful tree by performing a strange ritual with her older sister. They carefully performed the ritual, which required 2 pitchers of water, one to transform the younger to a tree and the other back to human form. Her older sister plucked flowers from the transformed tree, making sure that she doesn't damage any other part of the tree. She then converts her younger sister to human form. They weaved the fragrant flowers into garlands and के फूलों की मालाएं में उन फूलों को उन्होंने पुरोया and sold them at the king's palace. और उसको किंग्स पैलेस के पास बेचना शुरू किया कि बेचा. They decided to keep this a secret from their mother and saved the money for future. अगर आपको ये टेक्स्ट अगर समझना भी है, मैं आपको इसको हिंदी में समझाऊंगी अगर आपको चाहिए तो प्लीज़ कमेंट करिए कमेंट सेक्शन में, लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए. तो फ़िलहाल के लिए तो मैं बस रीड कर रही हूँ. I will not explain. So moving on, they weaved the fragrant flowers into garlands and sold them at the king's palace. They decided to keep this a secret from their mother and saved the money for future. One day, the prince discovers the garlands in the palace and gets curious about their origin. He followed the girls back to their house. The next morning at dawn, he went to their house and hid himself behind a tree and eventually saw the secret origin of flowers. He asked his parents, king and queen, to marry the girl that sold flowers and told them the secret. The minister summoned the girl's mother and presented the proposal. She couldn't help but agree. Later, at her house, the younger daughter had to demonstrate how she transformed into a tree to pacify her angry mother. After the wedding, several nights passed without him speaking to her or touching her. Finally, he makes his demand. She must do her transformation for him. Ashamed, she resists but finally relents and performs the ceremony for him. Her envious sister-in-law watched her do the transformation. On one night, she forced her to transform into a tree and broke her branches while plucking the flowers. They also ignored the water ritual and poured the water on her indifferently here and there. When the princess changed to human human form, she had no hands and feet. She had only half a body. She was a wounded carcass. She crawled into a gutter. Next morning, a cotton wagon driver spotted her and rescued her from gutter. He covered her naked body with a turban cloth, left her at a ruined pavilion in a town. Her husband's elder sister was married to the king of this town. The palace servants informed the queen about her. She was brought to the palace, bathed, healed, and kept at the main door as a thing for decoration. Meanwhile, the prince, distraught at her wife's disappearance, assumes that she left him due to his arrogance. Full of remorse, he turned into a beggar and wandered across the country. After a long time, the prince, haggard and unrecognizable, reached her elder sister's town. In shock, the queen recognized her brother and brought him to the palace, where he was bathed and fed. He never uttered a single word. His sister was worried and tried all sorts of ways to make him speak. One day, she sent the half body of his wife in a hope that the beauty would move him. He immediately recognized his lost wife. She told him the complete incident. She asked him to perform the ritual and fix all her broken branches and then transform her back to human form in a hope that she would be normal again. The method worked. The queen, his which is her elder sister, bid them farewell. The king, Prince father was overjoyed at the return of his long lost son and daughter-in-law. After discovering the bitter truth, the king had 7 barrels of burning lime poured into a great pit and threw his youngest daughter into it. All the people who saw this said themselves, after all, every wrong has its punishment. Conclusion में, therefore, the flowering tree is a story in the Panchatantra tradition describing the transformation of a princess into a tree and back again into the women. We are not expected to believe in the truth of the incidents but must only enjoy it as a pleasing fantasy. So आज का वीडियो यहाँ पर एंड होता है. आई होप आप सबको ये नोट्स काम आए, हेल्पफुल रहे. अगर आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो लाइक करिए, शेयर करिए और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें.
You know just what you do to me. Play my emotions like a pair of puppet strings. Did it ever occur to you my heart's more than a toy? Please go easy on me, baby.